So Word Up has, let's call the sections. So we're going to call the first challenge to get the bass drum into and close to the second or the next beat, however you say that, the next beat. So it's bass with a crash, snare, bass, hat, snare, but bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. And this is how you basically play the first line. The first line, big loud crash on the first, and that is with a crash bass. Now what you have is a big crash bass for the first, and then 1, 2, and 3, and 4, but bass, 2, and 3, and 4. So the first bar and the second bar are different only because of this bass that's close together here. Bass. So, and that happens basically, these two bars are the same two bars here. So again, it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 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 Get to know that? Slow and steady. The challenge in the second line is bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. Now we've done this bar before. This and this are the same, as well as this bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. Again, bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. Bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. The only difference is bass, snare, bass, hat, snare, snare. Big and strong. So, and this is how you play the challenge, or the new thing in line 2. So this is the bar that we have to get nice and strong. So bass, snare, bass 3, and crash snare. And so the whole bar is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 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 Now line 3 is more of the same. This bar is the same as this. That's the same bar that we use over and over again. So it happens again here, same bar. So we're repeating a lot here. And then here, so basically line 3 and line 4 are the same, except you're not hitting this snare as hard because you don't have an accent. So you know how to do that. The challenge for the third line, is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. It's the same as the previous, except you're not crash snaring. That's the, I don't think I mentioned that when I said, I just said it was an accent, but of course, snare, crash snare, and this is how that last bar sounds. But if you do this, you can certainly do this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that leads into this. So this line and this line are identical. Then this line is the same as the previous two lines. So line 3 and line 4 are the same, I'm pretty sure. Same, 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 same. Now line 5 is bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. Same bar as most of this song is, built around that same groove. Same bar, same bar, same bar. So this bar, it happens 4 times in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. The 6th line is bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. Same bar, repeats again. Bass, snare, bass, hat, snare. Same bar, but here the 6th line, bass, snare, bass, open and close on this snare. When you say 4, 1, 2, and open and close on 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. and this is how it sounds. And then the fifth line is pretty much the same, more of the same, more of the same. And then the next challenge is this last line here. And so just bass, snare, bass, open and close. Bass, snare, bass. 1, so this bar again, which in numbers is bar 22, bar 24. 1, 2, 3. Then the next line is more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. When I say more of the same, it's the same bar that we started with here, except we don't do the in-betweeny bass drum close to the next stroke here. Bass, snare, bass, hi-hat, snare. And then we've got a fill. Bass, snare, bass, whatever you want for 2 crotchets. You can go bass, snare, bass, and these are some ideas that you do for the fill. And then second page here, the first 2 crotchets fill that you make up could be, and I'll just do this, bass, snare, or 1, 2. It doesn't have to be anything, but the first thing is that it has to be in time. 1, 2, 3. And that crash that I did doesn't go anywhere, but because you go back to a hat for the next bar, but it's bass, snare. You can do that as well, but the main thing is 1, 2, and 3, 4. 3 can be 3 and 4 can be just 4. 1, 2, 3, and then that's the next bar. So you invent something here, come up with something nice or interesting, something inspiring. 1, 2, 3. As long as it's in time, you choose. And section B is, well, what do you know? More of the same. More of the same. Same bar, repeats, except here, and we've done this before, over, or have we? Have we done it before? Well, it's basically this and this and this, except you just opening the hat on the 4. Bass, snare, bass, hat, and open, close. And this is how it sounds. And then the next challenge is bass, snare, bass, hat, and open. And it is 1, 2, 3, and then you close with the next hat bass. And we've done open, close, hat, so you know how to do that. But you just open it with the second snare stroke, which is on the 4. 1, 2, 3, and then you've got a fill, so you can choose anything you like, and this is how this long complete bar fill could sound like. Then the next challenge is this whole bar fill. So again, you just got 4 crotchets, or 1, 2, 3, 4 of whatever you want. So it's bass, snare, and snare, 1, 2, 2, floor. Or you can just do, and then you don't crash when you get into C. But so I'll do this bar and this bar again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 crotchets of whatever you like. And then you carry on here, and then this is C section is where the hats straighten out, so to speak. 1, 2, 3, 4. So bass, snare, bass, hat, snare, but bass, snare, bass, hat, snare, bass, snare, bass, hat, snare, but bass, snare, bass, hat, open and close. And this is how this line sounds. So this line here is just the same open hat here, but you're just not doing a snare drum before it. So it's and pretty much you have to, so 2 bars, 1, 2 is very much how you started the whole song, except you're not doing the extra hat here. Only 4 hats in a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, okay. And then when you close, you continue the same. And the next line here, so you close here, bass, snare, bass, hat, snare, but bass, snare, bass, hat, snare, bass, snare, bass, hat, snare, but, and then another whole bar fill, which we've done up here as well, on bar 33, 4, 5, 36, bar 36. And this line, you invent another fill here. So just as before, it could be, so I'll do the whole line actually, and here it is. I'm doing all of this rather slow. And then we do more of the same crash, snare, bass, hat, hat, snare. We go back to that same groove which happened for the first time here. So once you get this groove, which we started here, you've got basically 80% of the song. More of the same bar, open hat there, we've done that here. But actually this bar and this bar are well, you're just opening the hat, so these 2 bars are the same, aren't they? Then you got bass, snare, bass, hat, hat, snare, open, close, snare, bass, hat, hat, snare, bass, snare, bass, hat, hat, snare. You've done all that before. And then you just finish with a snare, 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 rest, rest. And go back to the previous video, the full demonstration, and just keep on practicing it, slow and careful. Get to know each individual bar, which I've shown you now, and get in touch if you have any questions. And then the outro is pretty much the same. There's no surprises here. So the last 2 lines, really, the last 2 lines, you've all done this stuff before. This stuff is just all the same. Here is an open hat, but you've done this bar here, so that's kind of the same. But I'll demonstrate the last 2 lines. So starting from here, section D. 1, 2, you've done all this before. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 big arrowheads here mean loud, 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 loud accents. And I think that's a pretty clear demonstration. At least I hope so. Any questions, get in touch.